Hey, it's Randy from Voices and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to set up your first project on Voices. So let's go to the Me drop down in the top right corner and you'll see this new option for managing projects. So we'll go ahead and click that. Now you'll see these three tabs. We have our drafts, projects that are pending review, and projects that have been approved. And you can see I have a few projects here in draft, but we want to create a new project today. So let's go ahead and create project. Now for the purposes of today's demo, we're going to go ahead and use the voiceover option. And the skill that I'm going to select is e-learning. Next, we'll want to input a catchy title. If you have any questions about these steps, we do have these tooltips here on the right-hand side to give you a little bit more information as you go. But let's go ahead and add a title here. I'm just going to use the one that pre-populated, but of course you'll want to use one that's catchy and that describes your project in detail. Below that, we have our language. I'm going to use English, and accent. I'm going to go ahead and use North American, and our voice age. I'm going to select young adult. And that's it. We'll go ahead and click save and next. Next, we have our pricing page. Now this is where things get really fun. So we've essentially divided each project into three different subcategories that the client can purchase: essential, enhanced, and elite. And you want to think of these like different trim levels of the same sort of project. So for example, we can go in here and we can type in up to 300 words for the essential package, up to 600 for the enhanced package, and up to, let's say, 900 for the elite package. Now you can configure this next section in any way. This is just an example, but maybe for essential, you want to put a 3-day delivery time. For enhanced, maybe it's a 2-day. For elite, maybe it's 24 hours. Maybe that's not how you work. Maybe you like to get projects out right away, and maybe you want to do 24 hours for all of these, for instance, and maybe it's just the number of revisions that changes. So maybe for this one, you're willing to do 1. Maybe for this one, you're also willing to do just 1. And maybe for this one, you're up to 3 revisions. Again, you can configure this any way that makes the most sense for your project. Down below, we have our included package options. Now, this is just another way that you can build out your packages so they make the most sense for you and for your clients. So let's say for the essential package, we want to include proofreading, and that's it. For the enhanced package, we may want to include proofreading and maybe a live directed session. And then for the elite package, maybe it's script proofreading, live directed session. Maybe we don't want to do sound effects, but maybe we're happy to do background music and split files. And let's say that that looks fine with us. Now we get to pick our pricing for each level. For this one, I'm going to put $250. For the middle, $500, and $750 for the elite package. I think that looks pretty good. Now, before we move on, let's take a look at the top right here. This is a preview of how those packages are going to display to the client. So you can see the essential package here, the enhanced, and the elite, and you can see how they differ down below. You can also see the package total. This is the number that will be displayed to the client, and you can see what you'll earn on the job. So if you're a person who likes to build out these packages and factor in what you're going to earn each time, just pay attention to the bottom number, and that factors in the platform fee as well. All right, let's move on here. The final thing that I want to show you is add-ons. So these are things that you're willing to do, but you don't want to include in your base packages. So you can add things on and charge a set rate depending on the service. Let's go ahead and click Live Directed Session. And now you'll notice that these two are actually grayed out. This is because we've actually included live directed sessions in both our enhanced and our elite package, but we didn't include them in the essential. So we can actually add this as an add-on item for a specific cost. So let's say we're happy to do that, but we're going to charge $50 for it. Now, if a client doesn't want to purchase the enhanced option, they can purchase the essential option and add live directed sessions. Basically, there are infinite number of ways to configure this section. We're really excited to see how you utilize this to build out the right packages for you and for your client to make it as quick and easy as possible. And if all this seems a little bit overwhelming at the beginning, don't worry, you can always come back and tweak these and change them to suit the needs of your business. So let's go ahead. I think that this is good. We'll go ahead and click Save and Next. Next up, we have our project description. So I'm going to go ahead and paste in my description here. And this is just a brief overview of what the client can expect. And now down below, we've also included frequently asked questions. Now this is totally optional. You don't have to use this, but we put this in here so that you have another way to speed up this process. If you find you're always getting asked, what file type can you deliver, for instance, this would be a great spot to put that information, and then you can get right into the project. So I'll go ahead and click Save and Next, and we'll move on to the Media tab. So this is where we get to upload a picture. So I'll go ahead and add a picture. We want to choose something that's going to describe our project really well and show off. Maybe it's our studio, maybe it's our microphone, just something that's going to set you apart from others. We also do offer default images. I wouldn't recommend using them because there's going to be a lot of people that do that, and you, of course, want to set yourself apart from the other projects that are being listed. And below that, we have our demos. Now this is really cool. We actually pull the demos from your profile that are related to the skill that you're building this project in. So in this case, it's e-learning. And so we've actually pulled the e-learning demos right from your demo. So we'll go ahead and select maybe both of them. Of course, you also have the option to upload a new demo specifically for this project, but I'm happy with the ones on my profile, so we'll keep those. And down below, you can reorder them just by clicking and dragging. And this brings us to the requirements page. Now, these are requirements that you have before you start recording. Keep in mind, we're always gonna ask for the file attachments. These are things like the script, NDA, any reference files, YouTube videos, etc. And instructions for you. These are things like artistic direction, pronunciations, names, those kind of things. If there are any other requirements that you have before starting recording, you can add them in down below here as a question. But generally speaking, we want to keep this process as easy as possible for the client to hire you. So I'd recommend skipping this section unless you have something pressing that you'd like to add. And finally, we have a preview of our project. So let's go ahead and scroll down here. You can see the picture that I've uploaded, both demos that I've taken from my profile. Up in the top right corner, we have the project broken down by category, and of course they can click through and see the different offerings as well as the price down below. Below that, we have the project details, your description, languages, accents, voice age, and voiceover skill. Down below that, we have this really nice display that's gonna show each package, what it includes, and how it differs from the package before. This is a great way for them to get a really good view of exactly what they're purchasing. And down below that, we have our add-ons. In this case, we've added only live directed sessions, and they're $50. And finally, you'll see the frequently asked questions. So once this is done, we'll go ahead and click submit. Now you'll see that this project has moved from drafts into pending review. Now every project that gets posted on Voices has to go through our approval process to make sure it meets our terms and services and our content guidelines. Once it's approved, it'll be moved into the approved section and you can publish it for clients to see. So there is one other consideration that I want to show you, and that's the difference between broadcast and non-broadcast. Now the previous example that we did was a non-broadcast option, but let's go ahead and look at a broadcast option and we can see how that differs. So I have one here in my drafts and I'll go ahead and edit this one. Where it really gets different is on the pricing page. So let me go ahead and click on the pricing page. So you'll notice here on the pricing page, this is where things are really different. So there's no longer 3 different trim options. We just have the one project option. You can see delivery days, still the same, number of revisions, you can change that as well. We've included the broadcast license. We're assuming this is for a broadcast project. We're gonna go ahead and include that. There's still all the included package options that you can choose from. You can toggle any of these on as you'd like. And then down below, we've added this market section. Now this is gonna give you the ability to set pricings for 13-week ads or 1-year ads in either local, regional, or national level. So you can tweak the pricing of each of these until they make sense for your business. And then of course, we also have add-on options. Let's say we wanna add proofreading and we wanna add proofreading for, let's say $50. Now you can go up here and look at the top right corner, and this is sort of what the client will be able to see. They can toggle between each of these different options and see how that price changes. Again, you're gonna see the client total on top and you're gonna see your take home down below that after it subtracts the platform fee. Aside from that, every other tab here is the exact same. We're still gonna pull in media from your profile so that you can upload demos quite easily. Requirements are also gonna look the exact same, but let's go ahead and jump over to the preview and see how this looks for the client. Where it really differs is up in this top right corner. You'll see there's no longer the option for the 3 different trim levels. Instead, it shows your base package, and then they can tweak the market. So local, let's go to national, and maybe it's 1 year. And you can see the price updates accordingly. The rest is all basically the exact same. We've got our project details, language, accents, voice age, and the voiceover skill that they're seeking. What's included, this looks a little bit different again because we only have the 1 tier. And you can see we've still added add-ons. In this case, it's script proofreading for $50. And then finally, we have our frequently asked questions below that. Again, once we're done this, we're gonna go ahead and click submit for review, and that's gonna be added to our pending review section, as you can see here. And there, both of my projects are waiting to be reviewed, waiting to be put in front of clients. Well, I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions, comment down below, or you can always reach our support team at support@voices.com. As always, happy auditioning, and we'll see you in the next one.